Hello everyone. Today we'll have introduction to the skull. As you know, skull is a zigzag puzzle of numerous irregular bones held by different joints, and skull is the cranial end of the axial skeleton that you can see here. Once you zoom in here, you can see skull is forming the cranial end. Skull as a whole consists of 22 bones, paired and unpaired, apart from ossicles. So these all the bones are held by different joints, sutures, synchondroses or synovial joints. When you zoom into the skull here, you can see the different bones are there. They're held by fibrous joints, cartilage joints, and all bones are immovable except mandible. Mandible is the only movable bone of the skull as it forms a synovial joint. You can see here these are the sutures which are holding the different skull bones, and the base of the skull, they are cartilaginous bones. They have a cartilaginous joints, whereas on the top of the skull you will see dermal bones held by different sutures. And I told you the only movable joint or movable bone here is mandible. It is forming a temporomandibular joint with the temporal bone. So mandible is the only movable bone here. And when you see skull as a whole, it is loosely divided into two regions, face and head, as you see here in the lateral profile, and it is divided into two parts, neurocranium and splanchnoscranium. As you can see here in the lateral profile, the facial skeleton and neural skeleton, that we call it as neurocranium and splanchnoscranium. Neurocranium contains 8 bones, 2 paired and 4 unpaired, and neurocranium forms the cavity, cranial cavity, which contains the brain and its coverings and provides the protection to the brain without hindrance to its blood circulation. So splanchnoscranium, it forms the facial skeleton. It is made up of 14 bones, 6 paired and 2 unpaired. And this facial skeleton gives adjustment to different muscles of facial expression. And when you see the neurocranium here, it consists of 8 bones, as already told, 4 unpaired, 2 paired. You can see this is the neurocranium enclosing the cranial cavity containing the brain, CSF and its blood vessels, as you can see here. This is facial skeleton comprising of the orbital, nasal and oral cavities. As you see the neurocranium from the front, it contains the bone, that is frontal bone. Anteriorly it contains the frontal bone related to frontal lobe of the brain. And as you go here, you can see I told you 8 bones, 1 frontal, 1 occipital, 1 sphenoid and ethmoid, pair of parietal and temporal. Parietal bones, they form the superior part of the skull and they are related to parietal lobes of the brain. And occipital lobe, occipital bone, it is forming the posterior part of the skull related to occipital lobe, postcranial fossa, cerebellum and brainstem. And as you come, you can see here the occipital bone has the largest foramina magnum. On the lateral side you will see pair of temporal bones, one on each side. Temporal bone is a complex bone. It houses the organs of hearing and vestibular organs. It is a complex bone. It has different parts again. And as you see here in the base of the skull, you will see one more bone, that is sphenoid, unpaired bone. It forms the part of the base of the skull, that is sphenoid. It is butterfly shaped. It forms a part of middle cranial fossa in the interior of cranium and also part of anterocranial fossa. It has a midline body which houses pituitary gland and has 2 wings, lesser wing and greater wings, forming the part of the base of the skull. And just in front of it you will see the ethmoid bone. Ethmoid bone, that is the ethmoid bone forming the roof of the nasal cavity. And when you see this neurocranium here, the top of the neurocranium or skull cap is called as calvaria, where you can see the frontal bone, pair of parietal and part of occipital bone. Between the frontal and parietal you will see frontoparietal suture, or you can say coronal suture. Between the two parietal bones you are seeing sagittal suture, and between the parietal and occipital bone you will see lambdoid suture, that you can see here. And base of the skull, those bones are mainly cartilaginous, whereas the top of the skull you are seeing the dermal bones. These are cartilaginous bones forming the base of the skull. So these are called as chondrocranium and dermocranium, parts of neurocranium. So this is about the neurocranium here, that you can see how these bones are held by different sutures. And between the parietal and temporal bone you are seeing squamosal suture there, squamosal suture. Between the parietal and occipital you are seeing lambdoid suture. Between two parietal bone you are seeing sagittal suture. And coming to the splanchnicranium or viscerocranium, in simple terms facial skeleton, it is made up of 14 bones, 6 paired and 2 unpaired. As I already told you, facial skeleton gives attachment to the muscles of facial expression. It also houses these different cavities that you can see here. Orbital, pair of orbital cavities, nasal cavity and oral cavity with palate and upper and lower jaw. It also gives attachment to muscles of mastication. Facial skeleton has 14 bones, 6 paired and 2 unpaired. You can see here 6 paired are nasal, maxilla, zygoma, lacrimal, inferior nasal concha, palatine bone. 2 unpaired are vomer and mandible, that you can see here. These are 2 nasal bones in the midline just above the nasal cavity, and on the either side you are seeing 2 maxillary bones, and to the side of maxilla you are seeing pair of zygomatic, one on each side. And as you go here in the medial orbital wall you are seeing a lacrimal bone, that is lacrimal bone, thinnest bone here. It houses the lacrimal sac, that is the lacrimal bone. And within the nasal cavity you will see here, and within the nasal cavity you are seeing a unpaired bone, that is vomer, bone, forming the bony part of median nasal septum, which is in the midline. So mandible is here. So again we are reiterating: pair of nasal bones, pair of maxilla, pair of zygoma, and what you can see here, ethmoid, that is ethmoid, part of the neurocranium. In front of that you can see lacrimal bone, pair of lacrimal bones. And within the nasal cavity you will see one more bone, inferior nasal concha. Inferior nasal concha is an independent bone. You can see it is in the lateral wall of the nasal cavity, lateral wall of the nose. You can see one on each side. It is paired bone. And as you go here, once you remove the mandible and go here, you can see in the superior part of the oral cavity, that is hard palate, palatine bone. You can see one on each side. This is a palatine bone forming a part of lateral wall of nose and also hard palate. So it is a partition between the nasal cavity and oral cavity. You can see pair of nasal bones, pair of maxilla, pair of zygoma, pair of lacrimal. I told you lacrimal forms the medial wall of the orbit and thinnest bone here. And within the nasal cavity you are seeing inferior nasal concha, one on each side, and unpaired vomer in the midline forming the bony part of nasal septum. You can see this is the quadrilateral bone, vomer, and mandible is there below forming the lower jaw. So vomer and mandible are 2 unpaired bones of facial skeleton, whereas 6 paired bones are there. And skull as a whole, when you see, the facial skeleton is smaller than the neural skeleton. That is, neurocranium is bigger than the splanchnoscranium. That is in humans. Whereas in the quadrupeds, it is reverse. They have a longer or larger facial skeleton than the neural skeleton. In humans, because of the evolution of the brain and higher functions, neurocranium is larger than the facial skeleton. Facial skeleton is reduced, and whereas neural skeleton is enlarged, that you can see here. So total neurocranium 8 bones, facial skeleton 14 bones, 22 bones are there, and you can see the skull encloses different cavities for the different organs of special senses. And when you see, the skull shows numerous foramina, small foramina for transmission of emissary veins, which connect the extracranial veins with the intracranial veins, regulate the intracranial pressure, and also act as the channels of transmission of infection from outside to inside or inside to outside. And you can see here, skull has about 20 named foramina and numerous unnamed foramina through which the nerves, vessels will enter. And when you see the top of the skull, the structure of the skeleton of the skull has two tables of bones, outer and inner table, and in between them you will see a vascular tissue called as diploe. You can see in the dermal bones, that is in the top of the skull bones, parietal, frontal and occipital, you will see these two tables that I told you, outer table and inner table, and in between them vascular tissue containing diploic veins is there. Whereas in the facial skeleton, some bones contain air cavity between these two tables, inner and outer tables. They are called as paranasal air sinuses, namely maxilla, sphenoid, ethmoid. These are all the paranasal air sinuses. So this is the structure of the different bones of the skull, and you can see it contains different cavities housing the different organs of special senses. According to Monro-Kelly doctrine, skull is a rigid box containing the brain, blood and CSF. Any increase in one structure will compress another, and the skull should be held in Frankfurt's plane, that is the anatomical position. The lower margin of orbit should correspond to the upper margin of ear canal. So this is about the introduction to the skull. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe and follow the videos. Thank you.